G'day guys and welcome to the drive home on Thursday the 13th of January. It's round one, ladies and gentlemen. It's round one. I don't care if I've destroyed your eardrums. It's round one. The football is finally here. It's been too long, Big J.
You did say 13th of January, not 13th of March. So maybe we've gone back in time a little bit. But yeah,
round one.
I am pumped. I'm very, very happy. Bit of nervousness, I think, always the last hour before football starts is kind of SuperCoach heaven. I mean, you could just not touch SuperCoach for the entire preseason, make your team at 5:30 to 6 o'clock and just be happy, I think. No having to think about different things, no happy to do different stuff. And yeah, so... Mate, I can't wait. 2 more hours, we'll be sitting on the couch watching Richmond get blasted by Carlton. It's going to be good.
Mate, it probably will be, but it's going to suck. But more than anything, SuperCoach is second for me. I know it's crazy because we're a SuperCoach channel, but I'm just so excited to have the footy back and be reliant on 23 strangers to absolutely control what my emotions are going to be like on a Monday night. After every weekend, SuperCoach chaos on the side. I'm just so excited that the footy is back, and SuperCoach is secondary to my love of footy. There has already been quite a bit of chaos so far this afternoon with various news being broken, like Levi Ashcroft, for example, not being going to be called the sub.
Yeah, I thought that was always going... Well, maybe not Ashcroft. I know Draper was always going to happen as the sub, and I guess Ashcroft could be there as well. There was some concerns. I spoke with DR off air yesterday before the live stream and just said, hey, what's happening? How does everyone get fitted in? And he's like, I don't know if Ashcroft is best 22. The team's just really good. They're really strong, and obviously that's evident a little bit by kind of the situation today, right?
Yeah, so look, it's unfortunate. It's crazy to think, but this guy, as talented as he is, and a lot of people thinking that this guy was the best of the draft, but can't get a game ahead of whoever is listed. So you never know. There could be an early injury, and Levi Ashcroft comes on. You just know that this guy is going to be a points per minute king, I feel.
Yeah.
And he's such a jet. He loves the contested stuff. He's a forward of centre player. I just can't see him being the sub every single week. You know what I mean? Like, I just think he breaks his way into the side by playing well. And if there's another injury, I mean, they already had an injury to, Lincoln McCarthy, for example. So, I find it hard to imagine that someone of Levi Ashcroft's caliber doesn't break into the side and play regular footy. And I still think he's going to be one that people are going to want to trade in. And as a result, I think I'm just going to keep him on the bench. Obviously not field him out of concern. But for me personally, I think I'm just going to keep him and rather than use a trade to get him in later.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it's always nice to have rookie downgrades. I mean, a lot of us have players like Nod, and if he shits the bed, you've got someone like Ashcroft who no longer has an early buy that you can say, hey, swap into my team come round 3. Or I know we spoke off air about a premium or 2 potentially shitting the bed and you kind of raking in the cash and spending a boost to make that happen as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that can change heading into round 0, heading into round 1. But then also once the actual season starts, there's a lot of stuff that can happen there as well. So I think just in SuperCoach land, flexibility is king. That's why we love DPP players. And, yeah, kind of it's not the be-all and end-all you missing out on the best rookie after round 1.
Yeah, it's true, but he's already at 185K, so he's got an elevated price, and I'm just leaving him on the bench. If he comes good and starts playing full-time, for example, next week, then he's one that you're going to probably want to bring in. And if he doesn't, and he's dropped or he's the sub 2 weeks in a row, then you can downgrade him to any of the other rookies that have popped off that you missed out on. So I don't think I'm personally going to go down the pathway of hold him, keep him on the bench. If he plays, then he plays, and that's excellent. If he's the sub 2 weeks in a row, then you know what? I can downgrade him to, one of those St. Kilda rookies, for example, that pops off, free up a bit of cash that way. So we'll play it by ear.
I guess if you've already, if you've got 4 rookies in the midfield on field, you're kind of stuck a little bit that way anyway. I'm more than happy to. I'm just waiting for team sheets, but yes. I'm more than happy to say, hey, Sullivan, get in my team, and then kind of go from there a little bit, I think.
Did I hear a beep just then? Were you beeping? Is that road rage? You got some road rage, Big J?
Some idiot's like halfway in my lane and then looks at me funny when I beep at him. And I'm like, mate, what are you doing? Learn how to drive. So,
tell him,
Big J, watch out.
Mate, get out of the car.
Out.
Get out of the car.
Yeah,
get out of the car and remonstrate with him.
Nah, I'm just telling him I'm streaming. I'm streaming now, so don't worry about it too much. But
fair enough.
Yeah, just waiting for seats. I think a few rookies like Aiden Johnson's going to dictate some things today. Going to play ruck/forward for Melbourne. I think if Sullivan is named half back, like potentially he could be, he's definitely going to dictate a few things as well. So we'll see kind of what happens with team sheets coming out. We might make a few late swaps and late players around, and I said to you off air, but I'm a little bit worried with my team. I'm not 100% certain with everything, so we'll see what happens. Guys, but if all the members are in the chat as well, I hope you're doing okay. I posted the Members League code as well. There's only 7 of you guys and like 14 members, so if you haven't joined up, join up.
Yeah, for sure. Look, when you get home, show everybody your team as it currently stands. If there's been any changes that you've made to the team, I'll obviously show my team as well. I have made a pretty big change to my team, but maybe not as big as Cheese here. G'day, Cheese. Hey, I've decided to go no Oliver. Wish me luck for SuperCoach this year,
bro.
Cheese.
Why do you?
Good luck for SuperCoach this year.
Just don't hurt yourself, man. There's just things you can do and things you can't do, and it just seems like a mistake starting off the bat. Next week you'll be like, "Oh, I'm glad I brought in Oliver." Like, why'd you not just start him? Maybe pull up your team. Maybe pull up your team, and we'll get the ball rolling in terms of changes that have been made. What do you reckon?
Yeah, we can, but I'm just see if what other comments that we've got. Just catch up on some of these comments. G'day, Ben. How's it going? Shawnee in the chat. Michael in the chat as well. Get out of town. Stop stealing my thunder. Michael, g'day. Let's get this thing rolling. Absolutely. Jack, with Levi Ashcroft maybe being sub this week, should I get Sid Draper instead? I think Sid's going to be a sub too.
Yeah, I think Sid's worse, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're both subs. Cheese, I might have to change it if the fade works out. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Huge call. It is absolutely a huge call. But Michael is fading Cheezels.
Yeah. Look, like I can see a world where that happens. But he is very expensive. I can 100% see a world where that happens. And, you just look to get him in. I mean, he can't average 120 every single game. Some weeks he'll get a 140, and then it's like, oh, that's just how it's going to work. So, yeah.
Some games he plays more forward and scores 90. You just don't know.
And scores 3 goals. Like,
perhaps. Oh. Captain Flash, we are so back. Absolutely. Oh, you really reckon fading Cheezel is more brave than fading Clayton Oliver? Is that what you think, Cheese? Ooh, what do you reckon? Which one is more courageous, fading Oliver or fading Cheezel?
Look, I can see a world where you don't pick Cheezel because, hey, maybe you want an extra mid-primo, or maybe you want to run 3 rucks, or maybe you want to do something else. But missing out on Clayton Oliver is like, hey, how to explain it? It's like not picking Clayton Caleb Daniel for me is like missing out on Clayton Oliver. Like, would you start your team this year without Caleb Daniel? No. So
No.
why are you not picking Clayton Oliver? Like that's how strong of a pick I am on this selection. Like, you're not picking Caleb Daniel then.
Yeah, there's some players that are almost locks, almost non-negotiables, especially, given the price tag. Like with Sheasel, you've got someone, like you've got other options that are premiums in defence. Sorry?
The pre-season output from Oliver, like we've seen no warning signs from Oliver. Like, nothing.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, Oliver just seems to be ticking all the boxes.
Had him miss out not on pre.
Yeah, I don't know. You're sort of cutting in and out a little bit, Jez. So stoked. Rodney, so stoked to have footy back. Feet up to watch 9 games. Absolutely. Can't wait. It's what we've been living and dying for. G'day, Jen. Good to see ya. Let the SuperCoach chaos begin. Absolutely. Is that why you're no longer on Monday nights, Joe? Nah, I'm no longer on Monday, Michael, because I've joined. I don't know. This could be I wasn't planning on plugging this, but hey, you've asked the question. So I'm not on Monday nights anymore because I'm now, I suppose, a co-host on another podcast, a footy podcast. It's called the Number One Footy Podcast. I know it's very generic, I suppose, of a name, but I've joined another podcast on Monday night, which is General Footy Chat, and no, not that one. It's Number One Footy Podcast. I'm doing it with Brodie Holland. For all of you Collingwood supporters, you'd know who Dutchie is, Brodie Holland. So doing it with Brodie Holland and a mutual friend of ours, Coach Cole. So that is being recorded every Monday night. It's called the Number One Footy Podcast. If you haven't followed us, we just released the first episode on Tuesday. We're on YouTube. We are on Instagram. And we've got some things going. I think this is a little bit of an intro song, which is inspired a little bit by sitcoms from the 1900s. So it's really it's a good fun. So yeah, Dutchie, myself, and Coach Cole are doing a footy podcast on Tuesday. So that's why you're not seeing me on Mondays anymore. If you are a member, you'll see me on Tuesday nights, and obviously you're seeing me on Thursday as well. So if you want to have a laugh, if you want to have some fun, if you want to have, there are a bunch of skits. So it's going to be primarily a fun show, and then also with a bunch of footy commentary as well from the weekend. So if you want to have some fun, we are also on Spotify that you want to listen in on the way to work, for example, on Tuesday. This is what I've been doing. So yeah, get around us, follow us. It's going to be a lot of good fun, as you can tell from the footage. And we're really keen to see where this takes us. So that's why I'm not around on Mondays, Michael. Unfortunately, we have to watch Richmond up first, but footy, baby, absolutely. G'day, Mike. How's it going? Rookie coach, good to see ya. Hippo, you sexy man. Good to see you, my friend. Aussie Abroad. Hey, lads, we back. Have your teams changed since you released your videos? A little bit it has. Yes, I'll show you in a sec. You're keeping Ashcroft as well. Already taking a lot of risk, a lot to bank on. Yeah, I just think it's worth keeping him on the bench. If he's sub 2 weeks in a row, then you can drop him to a rookie that you've missed. That's popping off. Otherwise, if he plays and plays early and isn't the sub next week, then he's going to be someone that a lot of people are going to want to trade in. So rather than wasting the trade to trade him in, I reckon just hold him. He'll be the default position, and then if you have to change, you can change. Brad, SuperCoach bro, how are you, Brad, mate? So keen for tonight. TDK VC, absolutely. TDK is the VC, absolutely. Travis, bullshit play. Levi Fags name Bailey sub. I know. Why would you have Levi debut as the sub? I hate it when debutantes get named as the sub. You know what I mean? Like it's not nice. I personally don't like it. So yeah, it is a bit of a bullshit play. What can we say? Don't have Levi, so all good. Fair enough. That's not a problem. Time to buy a helicopter with the donations. Avoid the road rage. Get some sky rage going. Levi Ashcroft road rage, perhaps. Joe, please tell me you're not fading Shees. His scream's gone from last year. Look, fine. Let me show the team. Look, let me bring it across. There have been some changes. I've lost my balls. Okay, I don't have the courage to go Flynn R2 anymore. I just can't. I've caved and I've got Gawn against Keith at the MCG, and I checked the forecast and it's raining, which means lots of repeat stoppages. I just can't. I don't know. I don't want to miss out. Sheasel can be Zorko. Still not 100% sure which one I want. Do I want Sheasel or do I want Zorko? That's the one I'm still tossing and turning about. If it's Zorko with the easier run, freeing up some money, could potentially improve the bench somewhat. I have kept Ashcroft. If I drop Sheasel to Zorko, it means that I can get one of these guys out, swing Patton forward, and have Pryor on the bench. I think Pryor seems to be best 22 if he's being named with Redmond. So I'm not entirely sure. Still a question mark. Do I rate? I think Hewitt will play. I think from reports, Hewitt's going to be named this week. DPP doesn't hurt. We know that he's got great talent. Johnson, I think Gawn said that he's going to be named as well. So Johnson, someone that I was talking about in the preseason, someone who could play. And we know Melbourne have no issues getting the ball forward with supply. It's mainly the finishing. And I think, Johnson can capitalize. And if he's pinch hitting in the ruck as well, means that I think he's got quite a good role to play. And yeah, I'm just not sure. Still tossing and turning if I want Sheasel or Zorko. Zorko could improve the bench, but I think the bench looks pretty healthy as is. Patton's job security is entirely, I think, dependent on Cunningham. So if one of these rookies are to go, it could end up being Patton who goes, and Sheasel gets downgraded to a Zorko to get Patton up. I don't have a lot of money left, 6,300 in the cash in the bank. So, but I feel like I'm going, I just felt Gawn. Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like the matchup this week against Keith, if DCAM can go 167 in dry conditions, what is Gawn going to do in the wet with repeat stoppages against Keith? I fear to think it. So you know what? I want to enjoy the first round of football. So I'm just going to have Gawn and enjoy the ride on Sunday. Personally, I think I'm going to do that. The midfield has become a bit weaker. It's a bit crazy, maybe having Rosie at M1, but I just think it can be okay based on the fixture and the role that he has to play with Butters out of the side. I think he can give me comparable scoring to some big guns. I mean, Collingwood this week, they got a slow midfield. Richmond next week at home as well. Could go crazy. Essendon, he loves to towel us up. Then Saints at home, Hawks at home. So I think he's got quite a good fixture. North
sorry about that, fellas.
It's all right, all good. So I think he's got quite a great start. So I think he can be a decent M1. Clary, I think, is too much value. Chera's too much value. Finn, I described, was too much value. And Will Ashcroft is the new one because I needed money to get to Gawn. I've gone with Will. Will is one that has gotten a bit more palatable to me because he doesn't have the early buy anymore. And I think his fixture, again, Brisbane have a good fixture to start off with for inside mids. He's had a full preseason. He's going to get more time on the ball. And I just think he's not going to get any attention. The attention, it's going to be Lachie Neale who gets the attention from James Jordan, which opens up opportunity for Will Ashcroft, I think, to get more. West Coast at home should go big. I don't think they're going to put attention into Will. So Will capitalize on being the free player, I think. And with that softer inside midfield run, I think he definitely presents value at that point. So I think I'm going to be getting, he's not going to be a keeper by any stretch. Hopefully he can make me around 100K. If Finn can make me 100K, that's now $200,000 worth of upside basically from these two guys alone. I think the forward line, yes, I'm not fielding a Baz. What's Bailey Smith going to score? 90? I think if he goes 90, Pal Pepper's going 70, 20 points difference, sure, but he's less than half the price. And I think Davidson can go 70 odd as well. So that's what I've done. I've moved Flynn away from R2 to here. Archer Reed's been named. I think he's going to be playing more as a forward because there's not going to be pretty sure Waterman's not going to be named this week. So I think Flynn will be.
I'm pretty sure
Flynn,
now.
Yeah, I think Flynn will be the number one ruck. But of course, we know how his body has let him down over the preseason a bit. So Flynn, I've just got R2 hopefully be a quick money maker for us. And yeah, that's what the team looks like. Again, tossing and turning whether or not I have Shees or Zorko. It's going to be one or the other. Neither of them have the early buy there. And I think, if I have the money, I can improve my bench. If I go Sheezel down to Zorko, frees up a bit of money to improve the bench. We'll see with team sheets as they come out. But yeah, there's a bit of flexibility. This is sort of what I'm looking at going into. The mixture of value. It is. I think it's more going the value route this way. And I think with the 40 trades, you can afford to go more value oriented, I think. So yes. Am I fading Shees? Possibly not. G'day, Bailey. How's it going? Henry, is Levi just a rumor? What's the big idea? Apparently, Levi is not a rumor. Michael Whiting is a reliable source of information, and he's reported it. Are there any new rookies you've added or dropped with the news today of debutants and potential subs? I've kept Ashcroft. Foss. I don't want to replicate what happened with Sheezel a couple of years ago. Is he playing half forward or is he playing half back? And then 5 minutes before the game starts, oh crap, he's lining up at half back. Quickly get him in. I'm just going to.
No one can change their team.
Exactly. So I'm just going to start the guy. If he plays off half back, he'll be wonderful. If he's not, then I can just sideways him to the appropriate rookie. So I think Johnson, I was always pretty confident that he would play, but then Gawn came out and said that he is going to play. So that's good. And Hewitt was in all of our preseason teams, but when he got injured or when he was managed, I know he was managed because he was sore and then didn't play in the preseason game, so we all took him out. But he's going to be named, I'm pretty sure, this week. So happy to field him. Happy to have him on my bench. Yaren, good to see ya. Frankie, Foss in, Ashcroft out.
We'll see. We'll see. It might just be an overreaction. They could go and sub someone else, and then Ashcroft's like, oh, Ashcroft's back in the team. So we'll see. I may have to swap out Jordan Dawson in my side just to make things work, but I guess everyone wants to check out my team too. Hey?
Oliver's back in Cheese's team since he commented. Okay, welcome back.
Bro, I told you.
Welcome back.
I told you.
Paul Allen. Boys, how you going? Good.
Up.
Ashcroft gets sub into the game in the first quarter, right? Man, and that's the thing. Imagine if he does get subbed on first quarter, second quarter, he has a half, and he pumps out at 60. You know what I mean? Like, people are going to want to trade him in. So, you know what? I'll just start him, keep him there on the bench. It's not harming me. If he does play, then I don't have to use a trade to get him in. If he doesn't play, then I'll just go down to someone who I've missed.
This is my team so far. Everybody, don't laugh too hard. Sheezel, Zorko, Short, Roberts, Perryman, same kind of setup. Midfield's the same as well. The only mainly real difference I've done is I've gone Ashcroft to Finn O'Sullivan, which means I've had to cull a couple of rookies here and go down to some cheaper players. So that's about it. 4K left in the bank. I'm not too worried, I guess is the right word for the team. Just a bit of a, hey, what do I do once team sheets and stuff come out? Feels like I need a bit more. Feels like I need a Flynn. I could be suckered into going Dawson down to somebody and then go maybe a Nevitt or someone else up to Flynn, but I just don't know if I can afford it really. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for myself. Maybe I downgrade Zorko. I figure, hey, he's too too expensive or something. Yeah, 100% Craig could go Kako down to a Hewitt. It's just nice to have these kind of players. It's exciting watching Kako run around and kick a few goals and stuff, and knowing, hey, he's in your Supercoach team. So especially when you play Essendon too, or play one of these small forwards, like your team's playing Waitman and you hate Waitman's guts, but Waitman's in your Supercoach team. So it's like, okay, kind of double-edged sword, glass half full type situation. So we'll see what happens over the next kind of hour or so once the team sheets come out. But for right now, this is our side, Joe.
Yep, exactly. Very nice. G'day, Murray. How's it going?
What's up, Murray?
Paul, Foss, Ed Allen, O'Driscoll. Who to pick? I like Nod and Foss for both. I want both of my team.
Ed Allen's an interesting one. I'm more than happy to wait on him. He does have the 70, which is nice. But I think Pies have a couple of players to move around and some other guys coming back in. So we'll see what happens there. But it's his time to shine. So
yeah, I just think Nod probably is the safest one because with Hayden Young not coming back for the first month, you're going to get some CBAs from Nod as well. So I think Nod, fourth year in the system, he's ready-made, ready to go. Damo has been was the first one onto it right early in the preseason, and he wasn't wrong. He just needs a little bit of action on the wing, and then he plays maybe 25% CBAs just to bolster up his floor. So I think Nod certainly is maybe the pick of those three for me, if you had to pick one. Need a 110 from Chera minimum tonight. Well, you would hope so. You would certainly hope so. That's actually smart. Ashcroft at a price you can get a rookie that's popping off. Thank you very much. Shea's a possible VC option as well. Doggies, depleted mids, possible cheeky win maybe. Win for the Roos.
If we had beaten West Coast, I would have said, okay, I can understand where a win might come. But we were beating them on every single metric, every single stat. We had higher, apart from on the scoreboard against West Coast, and we still couldn't get the job done. So I think when you're a team that's lost so much, it's really hard to get a win. Like, you just don't have that mentality of, it's slipping. Oh, okay, cool. Like, yeah, it's a weird one. I hope we win. I hope we have a fantastic season. But something's got to change in the team. Someone's got to get fired up. Something's got to be there. Because if we don't, it's just rough, man.
Yeah, it's just rough. Zorko gone. Yeah, it's a question, Trav. It's either Zorko or Shees. I can't afford both. It has to be one or the other, which is an unfortunate situation to be in. If I show my team, I mean, what do I do? I love Stewart. I think he presents way too much value. I'd have to drop one of my midfielders to maybe do that. But yeah, it's one or the other for me, Trav. I'm not entirely sure which way I want to go.
Thoughts on Armstrong? I'm not going to go pick key forwards in teams where the ball's not going to be down in the forward line. He'll probably score okay, but I don't expect much from Richmond at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we are forced to get Gawn.
Right? Why not? It's the last year. I said this in the team review yesterday, right? It's the last year that we're going to pick. Look. Pick me in my Supercoach team. You need me in the team. Get in there.
There you go. The inflatable has spoken. The Max Gawn inflatable has spoken, mate.
Yeah, it's the last year that it's like Zorko, right? I'm happy to trade down to a Clark or someone else, cool. But it's probably the last year ever that we're going to have these play. Like, just for nostalgia. Just start them and see what they can do. Like,
legacy
you know the scoring's going to be around the mark. It's okay. But, yeah, it's... Mate, just start them.
The legacy pick. It's a legacy...
Yeah.
Oh, Murray!
Thanks, Murray. How you going?
Mate. Oh, you're very, very generous. Looking at Cooper Lord as a pod. Oh, mate, Cooper Lord. He is a pod. What is his ownership at? If we go to Lord, he's at 1% ownership. He is just above. He's not too far off from the other rookie price, like Laylaw, for example, at 253.8K. What do you reckon about Mr. Cooper Lord, Big J?
How expensive is he? Sorry,
253
something. Nah, that's a no from me. Like, it's no one that I've ever thought about in SuperCoach. He might do okay in terms of scoring and whatnot, but for myself, I'm more than happy to grab a 200K rookie and just be like, cool, no worries there. So, yeah, I think he's a bit too expensive.
He played the 2 games last year, and he had some CBAs and scored pretty decently. From memory, I'm pretty sure he had some CBAs as well in the preseason. So, but the question is, how much CBA action is he really going to get with a fit Chera in the side? With, Walsh has been named and has come back. I mean, if I pull up the preseason stats and filter by CBAs, Cooper Lord, 55%, more than Chera. I don't think Chera is a sub 50% mid. And this is without one of their best players in the running man, Mr. Bionic Man, Walsh. So I think Walsh comes in, gets CBAs. Chera's going to get a bump up in CBAs. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on Cooper Lord. I think he's shown that he's actually quite a decent player. Can be pretty good with the link up. And I don't know, 250K, you can certainly go for someone who's cheaper. I assume you're looking at Cooper Lord maybe as someone to trade to from Ashcroft. I think there are other players around that price and even cheaper who could certainly be making their money quicker. Now, Cooper Lord, the benefit that he's got is playing for Carlton with a pretty easy fixture to start the season with, but you are paying more, therefore he has to average more to make his money. Whereas if you're getting a rookie that you can have on your bench, doesn't have to average as much and can still make their money as quick. So, not for me, but if you're a Carlton man and you really like the look of Cooper Lord as a pod, I'm not going to tell you don't do it. I just think there are other options that are certainly cheaper for the cash. Velo!
What's up, Velo? Thank you very much.
You didn't have to pay us $2 for being late, all right? We're not that strict. You're going to make everyone think, Velo, that, oh, man, Joe and Big J, these guys are scoundrels. If you arrive late to the stream, they charge you $2. That's not what we do, mate. You know what? Thank you so much for your generosity. Guys, if you're arriving right now, don't worry. You don't have to pay us $2, guys, okay? You don't. You don't have to, okay? Thank you very much. Michael, Tommy at D2. Yeah, I love Tommy Mitchell. I love him. You
mean Tommy Stewart?
Tommy Stewart. Why did I say Tommy Mitchell? What have I read somewhere? I saw a Mitchell somewhere there.
You said 2023 before. You said January before.
I said January. I'm just too excited. I love Tom Stewart, man.
Give us the team
I've owned him every year, basically, of me playing, and he's very rarely let me down. He's such a reliable person. Yeah, he occasionally has a game, but he's human. He's a human, but he's normally around 600K. And in the role that he had last year, where he had 110, bit of CBAs, bit of halfback, it's the best role for him, and he could be top 6 at 521. Like, for me, he's one of those premiums that has hardly ever left my side. He's just, yeah, I love him. Love him. Gawn going to be a cash cow, 800K by round 8.
Potentially. I mean, you go and do the old Lockie Neal, get to 720K and then tank afterwards, and then, yep, we're good.
Oh, love it. That's so good. Jen, Sherry VC is going my way. Yeah, Sherry against English is a great matchup for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is Bo Allen not playing? Oh, unlikely to play this week.
I think it's confirmed that he's not going to play round 1.
Oh, confirmed?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. No, round 1.
Very well. Jack, g'day, Big Joe. G'day, mate. Have you seen Ashcroft will be named sub? Yeah, that's why he's on my bench. Have him as bench, not on field, because in case he comes on only in the last quarter. But I still am holding him because I don't think he's going to be the sub every single week. Firstly, secondly, if he is the sub again next week, then I'll just downgrade him, free up some cash to whoever is popping off that's cheaper than him. And yeah, it's not a big issue, I don't think.
A few people commenting, Joe, that we both don't have Garcia in our teams. What's the thoughts of no Hugo? We got. Let me see. Ben saying no Hugo. Flash is saying no Hugo. What's the no Hugo about, Joe? Hugo gotta go. Like,
can't afford him. And if I have to pick Flynn or Hugo, I think I'm going to pick the number one ruck as opposed to the third mid. And I sort of was mentioning this in the members stream on Tuesday. My concern is if we go to the AFL website and then we go to fixture, okay, and then we look at St Kilda's run. This is purely my concern now. Whether or not this comes to pass or not, I'm not Nostradamus, all right? I'm not Joe Stradamus. I'm just Joe. So we're looking at their run. Are they going to beat Adelaide away? I don't think so. Are they going to beat Geelong at Marvel? I don't think so. They'll beat Richmond, sure. Are they going to beat Port in Adelaide? I don't think so. Are they going to beat Giants? I don't think so. They'll then get to the Bulldogs game. By this point, Treloar will be back, and obviously Richards would have played. So it's a better midfield now for the Bulldogs. Will St Kilda win? I don't think so. Plays against Brisbane. Will they win? I don't think so. So nothing disrespectful against St Kilda. I just think they have a pretty tough run with some really good teams. What does that mean? To me, I'm concerned that if the midfield mix if they're losing all of these games, it means that there's going to have to be some changes to the mix. They're not going to kick out Steele. They're not going to kick out McRae. Those two are locks in the centre bounces. Someone's going to have to make way, and it's going to be the second-year player in Hugo Garcia, unfortunately. And they've got other players that can run through there in relation to the St Kilda midfield. You know, Sinclair. Is Sinclair going to be playing on ball? Hunter Clark, Zach Jones, Winhager. They've got a bunch of players that can play in the midfield. And my concern is if things start really poorly and Ross looks to make some changes, my concern is that Hugo is the one that suffers and then loses those CBAs. Because Hugo absolutely needs those centre bounces to get those tackles, to get his scoring. And if he's not in that role, then you're better off going with someone who's a little bit more expensive in Flynn, who will make you the money with hit-outs and just being a ruckman around the ground. That's my reasoning. So you can let me know if you're a St Kilda supporter and you reckon, no, Hugo is absolutely locked in. He's a must. He's not going to leave that centre bounce. We're not going to play Hunter Clark. We're not going to play Zach Jones. We're not going to play Winhager. Sinclair's going to be playing off halfback. Like, if all those things happen, then sure, Hugo's a great pick. But I'm not sure all of those things happen. So I think there's just too many question marks over Hugo for my liking, personally. I just want to cop the big J road thing.
There you go. A few people talking about Peatling, Joe. Seems to have fallen off a cliff. Cheese was just asking. Still a viable option, 8%. I think Kaden Coleman is still like 8% owned as well. Easy schedule to start the season, but seems to have just fallen off a cliff. I think for myself, Cheese, if you have to, you can pick him. I definitely know Phantom has picked him in his team, but I think he's too defensive for what he did. And just that preseason game put me off 100%. Like, for 100K more, you can get a guy like Chera who potentially you can keep the whole season. Whereas Peatling's like, yeah, you're hoping to get to 95 so you can upgrade him. Like, it doesn't really work out that well for me. What do you reckon, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I only have the 42% of the CBAs, and it wasn't even just that. It was also just watching the game in general play. he was open a few times and just they didn't look for him. They didn't see him open and have him be involved in the play. So yeah, for me, yeah, it didn't pass my eye test. I'll just say, and the numbers sort of back it with only 42%. So yeah, not big on peeling. I think that pick has petered out, unfortunately. Do you think your midfield is a bit weak in terms of big guns? Absolutely, my team is weak in terms of big guns. I've got no big guns. I've got Oliver as a big gun. I think Rosie will put up big gun scores to start off with, playing in the midfield without Butters. I think Chera should give me some good scoring without given his early run as well. So yeah, I'm obviously not having a lot of big guns, that's for sure. But I think I am playing the value game. I think Rosie's output will be better than his price. Same with all four of these guys will be better than their price. So I'm going with more value oriented and just going a general across the ground type of. We work together with the power of friendship. We believe, and we will score well together. I'm not relying. Exactly, Captain Planet. Exactly, Big J. Thank you. That's exactly where I was going with. So I'm going. This is Team Captain Planet. All right, and when they combine all together, it creates a Max Gawn. Okay. Rankin is now in my team. Yeah, well, I think Rankin. Even there are more reports that Rankin's going to be playing on the ball this year. Yeah. So at 521 again. I think that's value. If we're getting Rankin on ball at 521, that's juicy, I reckon, for me.
Yeah, I think with Rankin for myself too, last year we saw a lot of him getting suspended, getting injured and whatnot. I'm more than happy to say, hey, I'm going to start the player instead of bringing him in. Like, got an early run, got a good run. If he goes bang, you got to chase him in, and then cool, you have to take the risk of him being injured or doing something later on. And potentially you have to trade him out. So better to start the risky player, get him in. He's only 520K, and then kind of go from there, I think.
Yep. He can still score 70.5. Is that good? Yeah, 100%. That's why I've got him. That's why I've got him here. I'm in no rush to move him on whilst he's sitting here on my bench. No rush. I've got Nod, Sardis, Nevitt. He'll get some CBAs. These two are two on-ballers. So I don't necessarily have to have him on the field, which is, I guess, the benefit of this structure by going 5 deep in the midfield. If he pops off, excellent, I save a trade. If he doesn't, then I get rid of him. Same case, same play as everybody else, basically. Which two do I field? Reed, Pryor, Patton, or Trainer? I think Trainer will get a lot of supply. So Trainer,
I think Trainer's going to be great. I love Trainer. I would go Trainer and Reed, I think.
Yep. Agreed. Big J mukbang video.
Maybe one day. We'll see.
One day. Double dummy. How we
we'll
going?
Do cooking stream before mukbang video, I reckon.
Yeah, fair enough. Doing well, double. Causa, can we still start Levi or go to Ed Allen? Don't have any money to get Ashcroft to Hugo and don't want to move my premiums. I don't think you need Hugo, Causa. I think I saw a comment before from a Saints supporter that said that he can't see. We've got to scroll down. Where was it? Here we go. Joshua. Joshua was saying that he's a Saints supporter and he doesn't think that Hugo holds his spot too risky. Thank you for the input, Josh. So, yeah, I don't think you necessarily need to move heaven and earth to get Garcia, Causa.
Yeah. I do love the flexibility. There's so many good 180K-ish rookies that as long as you've got 3 of them, you can swap players around as much as you want. So it's really good.
Tatum, evening.
5 minutes till team sheets.
I know, we're almost there, guys. 5 minutes away from team sheets. Are we expecting any surprises? Hey, we'll
probably.
See. I mean,
probably.
It's round 1. It's round 1, man. What can we say? Bailey Smith will score 100+. 100+.
What, in like 3 weeks or one game?
Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure a winger will do it. He'll get some on-ball time, sure, but 100+. If he does that, then that's great. Then we might be trading out Flynn to him very soon, perhaps.
That's all right. We'll make it work.
How don't you have Kako?
I don't think Joe can afford him. He's got no money.
I barrack for Essendon, therefore I must have Kako. No, I'm just small forward for a team that's unlikely to make the 8. I think they're a better. I think I can get someone cheaper who will make the money just the same, Josh. Legend, you will finally be able to get a good night's sleep now that you own Gawn. Legend, can't you see I haven't stopped smiling at all stream? My cheeks are starting to hurt. I own Max Gawn right from the start. I feel so liberated now. It's a wonderful feeling. I'm making up for last year. Or even a Lindsay if he plays. Lindsay, I mean, yeah, you can easily go Ashcroft to Lindsay, but I don't think you're necessarily in a rush to do that. We'll see the team sheets. You gotta have Kako. Great job security. You gotta have him. You just gotta have him.
There's a few good job security players.
So so everyone gets on you for McKercher. Everyone gets on me for Kako. All right, there we go.
Yeah, but McKercher's 460k. Kako's cheap, mate.
Fair enough.
Different
Foss over Ashcroft. Interesting. Foss over Ashcroft. I mean, yeah, Foss, he could play half back. And if he's playing half back.
I'm waiting. Or Sheasel out round. What?
No, the team sheets aren't even out. He's taken the P155. Let me just refresh this.
That'd be funny, though.
Yeah, say nothing there.
That'd do it.
That would do it.
Change your teams, everybody. We've got 150 people watching, guys. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Smash the sub button if you haven't already. We'll be here all season, every round, every game. Mate, it's going to be a lot of fun this season.
If Joe fades Shees, I'm 100% keeping him. 100%, mate. Because the one I don't pick is the one who pops off every time without fail.
That's the way it goes.
Yaren, does Reedy play? I hope not. There was a report, a tweet.
Apparently it's on the plane.
Reedy got on the plane. So, yeah.
He's flying the plane, boys.
What's everyone's prediction for a popular primo that will let us all down and burn us?
Oh, if I have to pick someone.
Please not be Gawn.
No, I'm going to pick... I don't want to pick Gawn. I almost want to say Rankin, just for fun.
Rankin?
Yeah, just like kind of what he was showing last year and all his problems and things like that. You know he's going to run around and punch someone in the head at some point and get suspended. So maybe he's the one that ends up doing it to us.
Absolutely, fair enough. Any players you guys have taken out of your team and just didn't look right? Who have I taken out of the side? Brayshaw.
No one yet. I'm waiting for team sheets.
Yeah, like not having Brayshaw is weird. I've had Brayshaw here, or basically for the longest time I've had Brayshaw here. So not having him there is a little bit jarring, but otherwise I have a lot of familiar faces across the preseason. So TDK was there for the longest time. You know, a lot of the players haven't changed. Just some of them have, like Gawn. He's a new one. And I just look at him and I smile. So that it makes all my troubles go away, personally. So looks good. Cheers, Henry. Much love. Ooh. Lincoln highlight of the preseason. Big gay road rage. That's funny. That's hilarious. I love it. Was he welcomed on the plane or did he sneak on? Mate, he's a ruck. It's hard for a ruck to sneak onto a plane, but
Joe, team sheets!
Team sheets! Oh,
team sheets.
Here we go. The first one. We all know what's happened. We all know what's... Oh, come on. Everyone's on the team sheets. Okay. All right. Here we go. Well, Richmond v Carlton. We know this. It's going to happen. Put your VCs on TDK. He'll go bananas. Tip. Carlton, yes?
Yeah. You have to.
You have to. You just have to. So, we get here.
Oh, wait, and Short's name's on the back line, so it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah. Warple, we know, was injured with the syndesmosis. Will miss a month of football. Josh Ward was my tip to come in, and that is exactly what happened. Pryor and Kako both are debuting for sure, guaranteed. Pryor's on field, good to see. Kako also on field. You love to see it. Of these three, I reckon Saad Al-Hawle is the perfect sub candidate.
No, he can't be. They already got 5 named.
Is it?
Isn't it
the sub? Isn't the sub from the emergency?
No, the sub's one of the 5.
One of the 5, isn't it?
Yep.
So who's the sub?
We only got 4 on the bench, yeah. So 4 on the bench, and one of them's the sub.
Oh, I didn't see that. I thought there was only 4 there. All right, there's 5. I reckon it's going to be Hobbsy is the sub.
Okay, done.
I reckon Hobbs is the
I
sub.
love the Nick Bryan Ruckman, which means Sam Draper forward.
And we've named Sam Durham on the ball. I'm seeing Sam Durham go straight to Will Day.
Cheeky Will Day full forward.
Oh, because he knows.
Not that it matters too much, but Will Day full forward.
Sam Mitchell knows. Sam Mitchell knows. We're sending Sam Durham to shut him out. He knows it. He knows it. Sam Durham, yeah, you're going straight to Will Day. I love to see it. I'm tipping the Hawks, though. Hawks, top caliber team. Had a wonderful win last week against the Swans in rough conditions. Their back line is so good, having added Battle and Brass. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Hawks for this one.
Easy.
I'll be at this game. So, guys, if you see me anywhere, anytime, don't hesitate to shout out. Always happy to be
recognized. Like naked streakers when Essendon come out and smash them by 100 points, you know it's Joe.
100%. So we get to the Cats and the Dockers. Bailey Smith, we know, was playing. Murphy Reid was announced on Twitter that he was getting the gig, so no surprises there.
People flipping out that he's named on field alongside O'Driscoll. So there's 2 Freo guys on field for you. And then a certain Mitch Nevitt on the interchange for Geelong. So maybe that hurts a little bit, Joe.
Nah, Mitch Nevitt is not a sub-type player. He's an inside mid. He's not going to be the sub. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Mullen who's the sub. If it's not Mullen, maybe a dry clock. But I reckon it's going it should be Mullen, in my opinion, who's the sub. It shouldn't be Nevitt. I think Mitch is fine for me personally. So Conning is named in the ruck. Not surprised, but Blixarves is named as well, and we know that Blixarves will pinch hit, of course, in there and won't take all the time. I'm actually going to go... Yeah, see, Reedy. There you go. Reedy has been named. Reedy is the ruck. So, yeah. Reedy was welcomed on the plane. He did not sneak into the cargo luggage section. So, I'm actually tipping Freo to win this game. I think Freo... I don't know. Every time I think of Freo at Cardinia Park, I just remember Freo winning. So... yeah, I reckon Freo get the job done over the Cats. What do you reckon?
Yes, that's who I've picked. I just thought like Freo's they're playing at home for myself, which is a big thing too. First game back at home. And I think Freo with Reedy in the ruck's gonna struggle a little bit.
Yes, absolutely.
So Sol is apparently named in the
Conor O'Sullivan.
So, yeah. 148k rookie, guys, if you want him.
Nah, not
He's
for
named
me.
On field.
Yeah, I know. He's named on field, but the problem with Conor O'Sullivan is I'm pretty sure that Collar Jasny will be back in round 3. So, and Collar Jasny is one of their best defenders, and I think Collar Jasny makes his way in, and I'm not entirely sure. I don't think any of these guys get kicked out for Collar Jasny. I think, unfortunately, it will be Conor O'Sullivan. So, yeah, paying up 148k for someone who I think will be dropped in round 3 is not for me personally. But if you're a Geelong supporter and you reckon he'll keep his spot, then let us know. We get to Swans and Lions. So Levi, we know, is new debut game. Report that he'll be the sub.
Sheldrick is out.
Sheldrick is out. Adams is out. Riley Bites is in. Okay.
Yeah. But Ben Patton's named at half back. So that helps us out a little bit.
Yeah. What's his face? So, but Yeah, Sheldrick gone. That's a shame. It's a shame, but he had an opportunity last week, but did not take it. So yeah, sad news for Sheldrick. He's out. He's now on the outer. Hanley keeps his spot. Could be a sub twice in a row, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's maybe a Bice gets injected into the game with some speed. So yeah, I'm actually going to tip the Lions to win this game.
Yes, yeah, that's who I've tipped.
Fair enough. Doggies and
Arrow,
North.
I'm not sure. Not sure.
I don't think he was subbed injured. I know that Taylor Adams got out of the game because he was injured, something to do with his hammy. But I think Sheldrick was just subbed. Just subbed out. Doggies and North. Caleb Daniel, Finn O'Sullivan, Jack Darling, Luke Parker, Jacob Constanti, all of them in. All of them we know were to play. Finn named on the field. You love to see. He's not going to be the He's not going to be the sub, which is excellent. Where's Davidson? Davidson. Am I blind? Okay, Davidson on field. So great. So Davidson won't be the sub.
Yep.
You love
Well, he's been playing wing all pre-season. It'd be a bit harsh for him not to play wing.
Yeah, it'd be harsh for sure, but still, it's good to make sure. So yeah, Ballydale is in. Turns out
I don't expect Bailey Scott to play halfback. I expect Bailey Scott to play wing, and then O'Sullivan to go halfback. Like he'll be interchanged between the two. Yeah, I think they'll swap between the two. It's what seemed to happen in the game versus West Coast too.
Harry Sheasel half forward. All right, I'm changing it. Let's get Zorkachino in. We're going straight to Zorka. The thing is, just because he's named at half forward, believe me, he's gonna play midfield. All right, What we're looking at mainly is: are you on the interchange or are you on field? Because if you're on field, I think only once a player on field ended up being the sub. It's normally someone on the interchange bench. So if you're named on field, the chances are absolutely in your favor that you're not going to be the sub. So that's why I'm looking to see if a player is named on field or on the sub. I'm not concerned about where Foss is named. As Big J says, it's very likely that Scott and Foss could swap.
People are saying here Brisbane have now confirmed Levi as the sub.
There you go. I'm tipping the Dogs in this one.
Yeah, I think so too. Looks good for Riley Sanders playing in the middle. Looks good for a few of these other players too. Nice to see Tom Powell straight in the guts. So, yeah, kind of keep an eye on for that, I think, a little bit.
Fair enough. Moving on.
Nice to see
Collingwood. Ed Allen is out. So all those people... Oh, Lukey, yes. Foss is a pick, yes. Ed Allen. Anyone asking about Ed Allen? The question has been answered for you. He is out. In the bin, unfortunately. Didn't last long. Why? Why is Ed Allen dropped for Lockie Sullivan? Now, I don't mind Lockie Sullivan as a player, but
I think it's just a few players moved around. If you look at a certain number 7, Josh Dacos, who's been playing half back the entire preseason, has now moved straight into the guts because Dan Houston's there. So I guess they prefer Josh Dacos over Ed Allen.
Yeah, but they're not playing Josh Dacos there, and they're not playing Perryman at halfback. Again, that's not going to happen. Perryman's on the ball for sure. Houston's halfback, absolutely. It's a little unfortunate for Ed Allen that he gets the boot in light of the terrible performance on the weekend. Like, come on, Craig McRae. If you want to make a statement, dropping Will Hoskin-Elliott, man, he's not threatening anybody. If you want to make a statement, you got to drop the big name. You got to drop a big wig like Pendles, for example, who was, again, very slow on the weekend. So, I don't know. Houston comes in. That's a big boost. So, Berry is in. Joe Berry is in. He's on the bench, though. So, it's possible that Berry could be the sub, which could suck. Could also be Sin. Sin also on the bench. Oh, I wasn't supposed to click on him. So, he could potentially be the sub as well. Hoskin is injured. Oh, so he didn't even make a big call. Hoskin-Elliott's just injured. All right, fair enough. He's backing in the boys. Thanks for letting me know. Ollie Wines won't be sub. Boak, unlikely to be sub. You normally want your sub to be dynamic and put speed on the game and change it. So it could very well be Berry as sub, which is unfortunate for his cash gen. I'm tipping Collingwood.
Where's Pal Pepper named? Oh, he's a follower. Look at that. Cheeky boy.
No, he's not going to play on ball. It's not going to be him. It's going to be, for sure, Horn Francis and Rosie. If he's playing as a high half forward, that's excellent. I'd love to see it. But, yeah, I reckon...
Apparently, Somsey and Doherty have been named subs for the Richmond game.
Fair enough. Very nice. Thanks for letting us know, Causa. But, yeah, I'm tipping the Pies to bounce back at home at Port at the MCG.
I really want Garcia, Joe.
So what's your tip? Garcia?
Yeah, I want Garcia.
Who's Garcia? Which Garcia? Hugo?
Yeah.
All right. We had a Saints supporter just tell us that he's not going to keep his spot in the side.
Yeah, and then another one said he's not getting kicked out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. I only just saw the... I only just saw that he's not staying.
You got the censor out. I'll pick out all the comments I like.
Oh, jeez, that's pretty interesting. All right, moving on. Adelaide and Saints. Now this is Sunday.
Yeah, Saints have a few milestone and debutante people, don't they?
It is, of course, the Sunday, which means extended benches. It is not a finalized side. I'm surprised Wayne Miller is up. Jeez, he's every time I hear his name, he has a hammy.
He's named straight in there.
Look, if he didn't have the soft tissue injury like 2 weeks ago, I'd probably pick him, to be honest. But he can't wake up without doing a hamstring in his eyeballs. That's how soft tissue injury he is. So, Worrell could be a pick. Sid Draper on the bench. Every possibility that he could be the sub.
I know it probably doesn't matter too much, but out of all the St Kilda people who are named, don't be hasty. Is named on field. All the rest of them are actually on the bench, so maybe they don't play all of them. Even Harry Boyd is named on the bench, Joe. So, yeah.
Vauxhall, Hall. All right, let's have a look. See, they got Zach Jones, and this is my concern with this team. This has me concerned about Hugo. Look, they got Hugo in the middle, sure. But they've got Windhager named, Sinclair named, Clark named, and Jones could also play. There's too many midfielders. Boxall as well is a midfielder. There's too many mids in this team. I'm just seeing so many midfielders unnamed potentially. Like Boxall might not play, and Zach Jones might not play either. But you can clearly see that they're close to selection if they don't play this week. The fact that they've made it to the extended interchange means that they could play, and if not this week, then maybe next week. So my concern, again, about Hugo is, geez, there are too many mids in this team, and he could lose his spot at any point, especially if he doesn't win the ball himself. That was a criticism of Hugo in his draft class, that he's too happy to tackle rather than win possession of the ball himself. So, yeah, we'll see. Too many mids. Jack Sinclair named at halfback. Does he actually play at halfback? He could, with all of these mids named. Does that affect Nazaya? It probably does. Hasty, I think, is a decent one to have on the bench. Do I have him? No, I don't. I got to think about that. Extended team. But these guys all have green ticks. We've got green ticks. We've got green ticks, Big J. Oh, I've missed the green ticks.
All the ticks have changed, have they? All right.
I've missed the green ticks. I'm tipping the Crows.
Yep. No, I'd pick Crows too.
Melbourne and Guis. Briggs is out. Oh, they haven't brought a ruck. Oh, they haven't brought a ruckman. Oh, Gawn against Keith. Gawn against Keith. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro.
Lucky Keith. I'm coming
Big
for
Maxi Gawn. Big Maxi Gawn goes brrr. Oh my Jesus. This is amazing. Amazing. All right. Hannaford and Gove. Tom Green is back.
Yep.
This is a benefit to Finn, named on ball. Does that happen? We don't know. But I reckon Finn gets in. I love it. So good. Hannaford. Where's Hannaford? Hannaford on bench. Okay. Angove on bench. Leek Ali on bench. James Leek also here. Connor Stone also here. So
yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Stone and Leek, to be honest.
It's concerning. It's concerning. So we don't know. So Tom Green is an inside mid. My concern was that Leek doesn't play. Hannaford, more as a small forward. Angove, small forward. Leek Alia, key defense. So I think Stone plays because the players that they have brought in are not replacements for Stone. So I think Stone makes it. Ward makes it and Brown makes it. I think these three make it.
Yeah.
The question then becomes, does Leek stay or is it Weir, who was used as the sub last week? I'm unsure about that. And we won't know till tomorrow for that. So that's the question mark there. For Melbourne, okay, none of the rookies are on the field. So these rookies, for Henderson 99k. He's an option. He's possible.
I don't think
Aiden Johnson is possible, but I'm pretty sure Gawn on the radio said that he's playing.
Yeah. I think
and
he plays. I think Billings plays.
Who else
I think him and Billings play. And then we'll figure out the rest.
Wait, I'm pretty sure Max Gawn. This one was on the radio and he mentioned. He said 3 players.
Be right.
Here he is. Max Gawn has teased the debuts of Harley Langford, Xavier Lindsay, and Aiden Johnson, but also didn't rule out Harry Sharp or a 5th debutant on Sunday. So, but his name dropped these 3: Langford, Lindsay, and Johnson. So, chances are pretty good if the captain has name dropped them. I don't see why they wouldn't be debuting. So, Langford, Lindsay, and Johnson, potentially. Langford, Lindsay, Johnson. They need a 4th one. So if Langford, Lindsay, and Johnson play, could be Sharp, potentially. You don't need Billings, because Billings is shit. You don't need Jefferson if Johnson is going to be second ruck, and he plays.
They need a second ruck.
So that will be Johnson. And then it becomes either McDonald or Henderson for the last spot. 1, 2, 3. Actually, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, those are the 4. Potentially Sharp plays. So it's Langford, Lindsay, Sharp, Johnson is my guess for the 4, but not entirely sure. Who are you tipping?
I think I had Melbourne.
Yeah, I don't even remember who I tipped, actually. This is a toss of the coin for me. This is actually a really hard one. I'm still thinking about who I'm tipping for this one, to be honest. I was hoping you'd talk a bit and give me an opportunity to think about it. Who's winning this game, guys? No ruck, I would imagine, really hurts the Giants. But they didn't care last week. But then again, last week, the Collingwood midfield was nowhere near as strong as this midfield for Melbourne. But the Giants are match hardened after having played last week. So I think I'm going Giants. I think I'm tipping Giants this week.
Nice. Is Sardis a worry on the bench, Joe?
Sardis a worry on the bench. Well, so someone has to start on the bench. So, and I don't think he's sub candidate. I think he's been nothing short of dominant in the preseason, and we're going to need run against the fast Hawthorn team. So I don't think that's a problem personally. I think Hobbs is going to be the sub because he can play half forward.
Flash. Hewitt is named.
Is not
in the interchange, so he's 100% named. He's the first one named on the interchange, so I assume he's playing.
It's not guaranteed. It's not.
No, of course not. But it's not like he's not named.
Correct. So, so that's the tip. Who you end up tipping? Giants or Melbourne? Melbourne.
I just said no Briggs. Like Gawn's going to go blammo on them. So
yes,
yeah, that's why I picked them.
Absolutely. Eagles and Suns. So Noble and Rioli, the two new additions, get in. For Eagles, we knew Archer Reed was getting his debut from socials. Owies, Graham, and Baker all make it into the team. Flynn is named as the follower. He's number one ruck. Full forward is Archer Reed. Oscar Allen is playing. I'm surprised that Waterman has been named, but again, this is Sunday extended. Wouldn't be surprised if there is potentially a late out with Jake Waterman, based on some reports that I saw that he has calf tightness, I think was what it said. So I wouldn't be surprised if Waterman comes out last minute. BJ Williams is named interchange. I reckon he comes in for Waterman potentially, if Waterman is indeed a late out.
Potentially.
Meanwhile,
I think he plays regardless. To be honest, I think Williams plays. Yeah.
So you reckon it's Williams, Hewitt,
yeah,
Noah Long. I think should play. He looks really good.
And then probably Petruccelli sub
potentially. If not him, then maybe either Brockman or Dewar. Not entirely sure which one. All right. Suns. We don't really have anyone from the Suns that we're necessarily looking at, are we? Suns are almost an irrelevant team for us this year.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy because they normally have rookies that we've got on our field or on our benches. Marriage would come in for Allen. I think Marriage has, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn Marriage has been training in defense in the back line this preseason.
That was the talk of it as well. We were just hoping that we would have seen it in a few of the preseason games, but unfortunately he didn't play.
Yeah. So I think Hewitt should play. Pretty sure the coach was saying that he's looking good for selection this week in an interview. So that could be pretty good. Happy to field him. No mention at all of Bo Allen. So Bo Allen absolutely guaranteed not playing this week. This officially seals the deal on that. But I think Hewitt does play. And Archer Reed definitely plays as well because he's named on field. That doesn't mean that he won't, he's not going to be immune to being subbed out if he is to be subbed, but he's definitely, I think, playing the game.
What do we expect Archer Reed to do? Do we expect him to actually do anything? Or what do we expect from...
Full forward for the Eagles, who I don't think are going to be out of the bottom four.
There's a few people are saying, Josh is saying he is Boyd a fade now that Reed's named and then Boyd's not in the main team.
I mean, Boyd... I'm not necessarily concerned about Boyd. I mean, I was speaking with Jake of Sans TV, and he said that Boyd should be named this week. So, he knows his stuff. You know what I mean? Yes, so I'm pretty happy to go with that, and I reckon Boyd's going to play. That's my take. That's my take, I think. So, yeah. Tip for this game, I'm going with the Gold Coast Suns.
That's why I picked 2.
Who you picked as well? Fair enough. All right.
I made a boo-boo and pressed save my team, so now I have no team. So give me a sec. I'm glad I've still got time to fix it.
That's pretty funny. All right, let me scroll back up these comments and see what I've missed.
Like the only thing we really care too much about is just the Carlton and Richmond players anyway, right? So, like, I might just lock in those players that I like from that team, from that game.
Yes.
And then, cool. Like, that's it for right now.
Correct. Like, this team, even great, Lucas Camporiale, not the sub, which is great. He's playing on the field, which is excellent. Got the wing roll. Chera on the ball. You love to see it. TDK. And I've got Jaden Short. And seriously, look at this back line. How does Jaden Short not get at least 25 disposals and 5 kick-ins every week? Like, I just can't. I just can't see it not happening. So, yeah, I'm locking in Short tonight. I'm locking him in. Have him play. Have him do his stuff. I'm locking in TDK, Chera, and Lucas as my emergency on the bench. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Not.
Is it going to work?
No. The question is, do you want Nank the Tank or not? I don't have Nank the Tank. I'm going with Gawn.
You have to, I think.
Because I have to. Otherwise, I die.
Is that going to work? Yeah. So currently, this is my team, guys. I pressed not save it properly, and this is my team at the moment. So we'll see what happens.
Jeez.
Whoops.
Love the doors and one pick up playing just for feeling he's going to have a Brownlow-like season. Yeah, he could, but I can't afford him. Can't afford him. I can only go with the other South Australian captain. So, how do you like my value in structure? Dawson, Richards, Rosie, Oliver, Chera, Callahan, Washcroft, and Nevitt. Very deep. You must be very light in other areas of the ground, Paul, and the other areas of the ground are not places I'd like to be weak in, personally. I think it's too much value in there. Has Aiden Johnson been named as a debutant? Look, it hasn't been officially named, but Maxi Gawn on Triple M, he teased the debut of Johnson. So, as well as Langford and Lindsay. So, this is probably the best that we're going to get for now. Would laugh if Day/Callahan came out and scored a 50 after last week, man. I'd cry. Not laugh. I'd cry. What are you talking about, Tatum? That'd be very sad. Thoughts on McIntosh at Richmond playing pure mid? Good price.
Yeah, the George's Discord's been going off about it today. McIntosh pure mid, get him in at 270k. For me, it's a no. I mean, this late into the season, it could work out okay for you, but he's not someone that we've ever thought about, ever.
No.
Oh, shit. Camporelli on field. Fuck. I have to remake the team. I can't have Camporelli on field.
Yeah, you don't want Camporelli on field, bro.
Luke Train on field too.
Yeah, go fix that.
All right.
Look, McIntosh is not someone who has ever once been in consideration at all.
Good pickup, Velo. Good pickup. Captain Flash, I better go fix my old team. Sorry.
I don't know. I just think it's a bit risky just throwing in a player that you haven't considered at all pre-season into your team.
Yeah.
Half an hour or an hour before the game starts. What would Trainer or Layla have to score on your bench to make you include a dead rook and take their score on
Nothing.
field?
Nothing. $0. Zero. Like nothing. No dead rookies in my team. Potentially R3. If Boyd's not named, I might keep him just because St Kilda have a late game, so I can then go and loophole people. But nothing.
Yeah.
No dead, especially with the amount of guns and rookies we have and all these upgrades potentially Joe has to do in the midfield. There's no way. No dead rookies this year.
No
If you
dead
start
rookies.
your team with players that you know are going to be dead players, like,
Yeah.
you're
Exactly.
setting yourself up to fail already, you know?
100%. And you've also got the fact that we've got buys right from round 2 to round 5. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you're gonna have buys. You're gonna have you're gonna have loopholes already. So the game's giving you the loops. So there's no need for you to start someone dead. It will kill you. It will kill you. Problem with Nod is his durability. He's had a ripping preseason. You got to back him the preseason. He's done really well. I have a vague memory of Brisbane using the same person as sub all last year. Is that the case? Is that the case? How would I even find that out? I'm pretty sure DFS have that information. 2024. Yes, they do have that information. Jeez. This ad is so oppressive. Now I can't even scroll. AFL subs. Can I not pick a team? Hello? All right. Well, guys, that's wonderful, isn't it? Everyone, get off DFS. I'm trying to look at something. I'm trying to look at something, guys. Is it true? Did they use the sub all the time as the same person? 2024. Oh, come on. This is not helpful. What? DFS officially hates me. Someone made that comment last stream, and they are absolutely correct. DFS hates me. Morts, what have I done? Sheezer will be top 5 scorers in any position this year. I reckon he's a genuine jet. Yeah, he's my Smoky for the Brownlow this year. I have to pick him. Warning, warning. Don't touch Nod. Very lazy footballer. This screams like bait by Michael, telling people not to pick him just so that when he picks him, he's going to do very well.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky is touch and go, I heard today. Can't see North winning without him.
We'll see.
How come everyone's forgot about Luke Parker?
He didn't play any of the preseason games. That's the only problem.
DFS took too long to restore. Zorko could get the tag too. Who knows? Zorko could get tagged. James Jordan's playing in the midfield based because of the injuries at the Swans. So he's going to probably go to Lockie Neal. And I'm not sure if Hayward tagged Sicily on the weekend. So it's possible that Hayward could go to Zorko. Yes, true. All right, she's getting my team and stay there. Excellent. If you can cover next week's buys, what are your thoughts on Ash in defense? Good break even. Yeah, but he got most of his scoring after Whitfield got his cramps and then was moved off the ball, and then all of the play went through Ash afterwards. At halftime, Ash was a dead pick and had no points whatsoever. So, yeah, not for me.
Okay, I fixed the team. Who's your VC and C, Joe? Before we go through all this,
DeConning Gawn.
DeConning. All right, I'll do the same.
Oh, there's a tweet
I fixed
from
the team,
Morse.
boys. I've fixed it.
DFS is broken. Okay. Can't get it to load either. Fair enough. Morts is saying 5 minutes to upgrade the RAM. Okay. Interesting. Didn't expect such a huge server load in the last few minutes. Just scaling up RAM will take 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Much love. Was it Bruce Breville? Breville! It could have been Bruce. But towards the end of the season, though, I'm pretty sure he was just getting named on field. Maybe if I go to Fan Footy. If I can't look it up at DFS, I'll look at it on Fan Footy. Go to the archive. No, he's not in my team. A lot of my Freo mates don't rate him. Gee, Damo from Footy Mailbag has been preaching about him all preseason.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I've been like,
how...
pick Foss. They've been like, nah, stuff him. Don't pick Foss. Get him instead.
Yeah, it's actually crazy how people can have such very divergent and polarizing opinions. What is that forward bench? Get some green ticks, mate. Look, I reckon both of these guys are going to play, and I reckon come tomorrow they will both be green ticks. If they're not green ticks by tomorrow, then yes, we'll have to fix that up. But they just play on Sunday. There's nothing I can do about that. I can't control that, Jack. Oh, you're funny. All right, back to archive. We want Brisbane. All right. Let's see. Maybe. Has it been 5 minutes yet? Let's see. Okay, that seems to be working. Substitutes. 24. Yeah! DFS back up and running, baby. All right, Brisbane. Kyle Lohmann was sub. Tunstall. Lions. Tunstall. Morris. Brain. Sharp. Answorth. Brain. Fletcher. Morris. Revel. McKenna. Revel. Pryor. Sharp. McKenna. So there was a spread of subs from Brisbane. They had the small forward 3 weeks in a row. Tunstall's a forward. Lions is dead. Tunstall again. I don't know. They didn't use the same person, but the ones that they did, they used for multiple weeks. So it could be a bad sign. It could be a bad sign for Ashcroft if they're going to repeat what they did last year. Like, it was very rare for a person to be sub one off. Like, Lohmann was sub 3 weeks in a row. Then Tunstall got a week off and then was sub again. Brain got it twice in a row before getting it again later. Yeah. If you're a sub once, you had chances to be sub again, which is not promising for Ashcroft now that I'm looking at that. Ashcroft is really good. It's crazy to think he could be the sub multiple weeks in a row. Maybe he needs another injury, perhaps. Obviously not wishing an injury on anybody, but yeah, that's not a good sign for Levi. Now that we look at it. All right, let me scroll back up to see some of these previous comments that we missed.
3 ticks or nothing, Joe.
It will be green. They will all be green tomorrow. And if they're not all green tomorrow, then we will make them green tomorrow. Absolutely.
Constanti's going to play, named in the forward line. Well, I think he's named on the bench, but he should play. He's a small forward. Good tackler, similar to a little bit of maybe how Kane Turner was for North Melbourne. If that doesn't bring back bad memories, I don't know what will. But I don't think he's SuperCoach relevant. You rarely pick small forwards as SuperCoach relevant players. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Let's back up here. Why are people in the community not going with Will Day? He's at 40%. And Tatum is a strong believer in Will Day this year. Look, there's a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Will Day's good. He's a good player.
We brought it up in the team review video last night. Hopefully you guys have seen that if you submitted your teams. Looks like Will Day could just be the tag. Like, this week he did fantastic, but we saw when James Jordan went to him that he ended up scoring 35 in that second half. There was obviously time off the ground and whatnot as well, but Joe's kind of going through the list. Durham in the first round, like round 1. And then he probably gets tagged by Chincotta or someone else, or just Carlton's midfield. And then GWS throws Bedford on him. And then Port Adelaide goes and throws William Drew on him. And then Geelong goes and gets Mark O'Connor onto him. Like, there's a lot of tag potential for Will Day. Like, don't get me wrong, post round 6, get him into your team. But he could end up being cheaper by round 6 than what he started on. Like, there's a lot. Every team there basically has a tagger that they won't go to Jai Newcomb. They'll go straight to Will Day and say, "Hey, mate, how you doing?" So
Exactly.
makes things a little bit tough, a little bit interesting there. Like, pick him. If you like the pick him. We're going to get him in our teams by round 7 because West Coast and Richmond, boy, oh boy. But to start off with, it's not great.
So this is, if you don't have the extension, I have these things. Now, Squadfather made a video about it. There is an extension that you can download and add it to your browser, which then allows you to modify the scores, and that will change the projected, the price projections for that player. So I don't think, say he goes 92, and then against Carlton he goes 88, and then against Bedford, what's he going to score against Bedford? 75?
Not much.
Not much. And then you press project. This is banking in the 148. He actually, after that game, he drops. He's only 498k. So you're back to where you've started with him. All right. It's not necessarily, what's the extension called? I will pull it up. I tweeted it on Twitter, obviously, because that's where you tweet. I
didn't tweet it on Facebook.
Yeah, obviously not. Now, where was my? How do I see my posts?
Just click on your name.
How do I see?
On the,
here
on
we
the
are.
left.
Click
Just
on my
click your face,
name.
yeah.
Click on my face. Here. This is the one. So I'll copy this. So this is what it's called. It's a Google Chrome extension called SuperCoach Projector. Let me copy it and paste it here in the comments that you guys can add it for yourself. It is a projector of a price projector, and you input the numbers. So if we go back, and then once you've activated it, you can come to here, and then you can input the numbers. So, if you think Will Day goes 100 and, against the Bombers, and against Carlton, he goes maybe 90, and against the Giants, he has a tough one, he still loses, the money. He's still back at 485k. So it's not, and it also works on Firefox, as you say, double dummy. Correct. So Will Day, for me, isn't someone that I absolutely have to start. Then if he gets Willem Drew, but he does really well and breaks the tag, say he goes 110, and then against Mark O'Connor, he goes 105. We project it. He's at 495k. He is basically right where you started him, and this scoring isn't really blowing you out of the water. So so that's why I think Will Day isn't necessarily someone that you absolutely must start, because he's not going to hurt you if you fade him, and he's not going to outprice you if you fade him either. You can always trade him in before West Coast, where things really open up. You got West Coast, Richmond, Melbourne, Gold Coast. None of these guys tag. Brisbane doesn't tag. Collingwood doesn't tag. Bulldogs don't tag. Adelaide, then you can get that massive stretch. So that's why, for me, Will Day isn't in my team. All right. No Lord isn't in front of Chera. Agreed. Is Pitling still a viable option? I think we actually spoke about that. Yeah, Cheese, Brayshaw, or Sarong. I think Brayshaw is the one who cops the tag.
Yep.
And Sarong cops the tag. Brayshaw gets off the chain. G'day, Aero.
You know what I just noticed, Joe, is the Phantom has done a face reveal. So
yes,
yeah, there you go. You guys want to know what the Phantom looks like? Cheeky Al Patton has decided to do a live stream at the same time as us. That's okay. Then go from there.
What show the 3300 was got at Carlton? 1900. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yaron. It will be pretty bad, I think. Yeah. Lord, way overpriced after 2 games. Will be a good payout. Yep, fair enough. Thank you, Velo. Always respect your take. Archer, Reed, or Boyd, R3. Do you want a full forward who's more expensive, or do you want a ruck who's going to play a ruck with Roma playing forward? I prefer Boyd personally.
Yeah, and at the very least, he's going to play at points throughout the season. If he's not named to the first few games, let me just quickly check. St Kilda's early fixture, I think, is actually pretty favourable for a loophole player. Because the thing with the best 18 weeks, guys, is that if your captain plays but isn't best 18, then you don't get double points. Like, you need a loophole in the best 18s, otherwise it doesn't count. So it can hurt you really, really badly if you don't pre-plan it there a little bit. Looking at St Kilda, so they obviously play Sunday this week. Next week they play Saturday night. The week after that they play Saturday afternoon. The week after that they play Sunday. The week after that they play Sunday. The week after that they play Sunday. The week after that it's a Saturday. And then it goes their first Friday. They do play 2 Fridays in a row, but that's like round 8 and round 9. And then they go back to Sundays. So even if Boyd doesn't play, he's a bloody fantastic loophole.
Yeah. G'day, Maltesing. So
what's up, Maltesing?
Went to Bunnings and, like usual, spent an hour wandering around. Well, we should, rather than paying for the snag, you should have paid Big J because he had some road rage before. You're lucky you didn't cop it. I'm just kidding, Maltesing. Good to see you.
No, you don't have to pay $2.
I know. I was just kidding. Gray's fit. Crip's going to slap her. Yeah, he probably will.
I really feel bad for Bevo, to be honest. Like
Bevo?
Yeah, because all of his players that have left the Doggies are going to score really well. And they're going to play fantastic. And he's just let them all go for like peanuts. Caleb Daniel is going to be the best recruit. I've seen people pick Caleb Daniel captain this week, Joe. Caleb Daniel captain.
That's insane.
How nonsense is that?
Harvey Langford playing this week. Possibly. No guarantees. Of course, you're not Joe Strada.
Guys, you've got 20-odd minutes left until round 1. So if you've got a couple of players from either Richmond or Carlton that you're looking at bringing in, 100%. Make those things happen. Fix up your captaincy scores in your emergencies. I've gone trainer emergency. I've gone Camporelli emergency. I love Joe's team. It's very sexy looking with the 5 very, very good mids. But yeah, we'll see.
Thank you. Much love. We're going to be wrapping it up soon because the football will be starting very shortly, 21 minutes. So we're going to let you guys get to the football. Thoughts on running Fraser instead of Short? Bailey Dale's been named.
Yeah, Bailey Dale's been named. I think Fraser's going to move around a bit, which is fine. But I think, it's an interesting one.
Yeah. Fair enough. Is Trent Edwards a chance? He is, but not this week. I think in a few weeks, he will make a good downgrade target for sure. Sand support, I don't think he holds. Still debating Strong. I mean, that means Sarong or Brayshaw, but I've had Sarong all season and want him to low-key need
pick him there.
Upgrade.
Yeah. Pick him. If you want the upgrade, chuck him in there.
Absolutely.
Sarong is the one that gets tagged, I believe. Yeah. I think they're stupid to not tag Sarong. They may go tag Brayshaw, which I think we saw a little bit last year, and that's why Sarong went big. But they need to tag the other ones. So
yeah, for sure. Matt Rowell not many jumping on pod. I think Matt Rowell's going to spend more time forward is the problem, Squeak. Plus,
and they got the early bye.
Plus early bye, and he actually plays one less game because our initial game has now been moved to round 24, and that won't count. So not only are you getting a second bye, he's also giving you one less game worth of scoring. That's the problem. I have Kaka in the forward line. Is it worth swapping up for Johnson, pocket the cash, or use to get Brayshaw to kneel? I don't mind Brayshaw to kneel, but but Brayshaw is a good M1 by himself already. So you can just pocket the cash.
I like Neil.
Fair enough. Thoughts on Erasmus? Don't think his best 22J screams sub-risk.
Even named?
I don't know. How many trades do you think you'll have to do? That's the only worries about it. I do like the value this year. Yeah, it will be burning trades, but I think the upside in each of the picks makes it worth it because I think they all can make around 100K. If they're making 100K each, then it just becomes a 1 up, 1 down, a 1 up, 1 down to nail them. And we always get downgrade options during the season. We always are concerned about rookies and whether or not they pop up. Rookies always pop up. It might seem dire at this point, but as the season progresses, it's a long season. Football is brutal and tough. You get injuries, suspensions. Rookies always pop up. We'll always have enough downgrade options to be able to finish the team. Rankin will still have games where he goes missing, potentially, but if he's playing on ball more, less likely for him to go missing if he's around the action.
And we start the risk, we don't bring it in.
Correct. No love for Ed Richards. He just did a soft tissue injury before the start of the season. That to me is way too risky to start someone coming right off a fresh soft tissue concern. I probably can't do it, Paul. That's probably too risky. Do I feel Trainer over Patton? I think so.
I'm 50-50 on that. I'll leave it for you to decide.
Thoughts on Sanders? Currently fading, but he is very enticing.
I really like him. I think he's going to do okay. You might get an 80 average out of him, or 85, which means he could get close to 500K. So if you don't mind that, then cool. But he probably won't be a keeper. And I think the way that we've picked our teams is we've kind of identified who we hope are going to be the ones, and then we'll go from there. You can always bring him in. I don't think he's going to punish you enough to make him be a must-have. You need to start this type of player.
Yeah. Squeak, Neil, Rao, Rosie, Oliver Chera, Big Five Mids. Your thoughts, legends?
I like it, just not Rao.
Yeah, not Rao.
I would pick Petrarca or pick Brayshaw or someone else if you can afford them. Joe's gone over the fact that, Gold Coast play one less game and have the early bye.
Els, 2 for 1. Do you think it's too much to have Gawn, Sherry, and DeConning means I fade Stewart and Flynn?
No, it's okay. The only thing I've seen with this, though, is that you end up playing 4 players down back and 4 players in the midfield and stuff. So you end up having it depletes your team too much, I think.
Yeah, I agree. No offense, but that's crap from Josh. Garcia is a lock at the 3rd, 4th CBA mid. There is 0 chance he loses his spot. He's a great selection, but not a must-have. Well, we'll see. We'll see. If he does pop off and he's looking really good in the first 2 weeks of the season, we could, and Ashcroft shows that he is the preferred sub every week, then we could do something maybe with Ashcroft and Pal Pepper to get up to a Hugo Garcia, perhaps. Thoughts on non-starter cheapie? Nah. Has to be a starter, Shawnee. No dead rooks.
Unless it's boy.
He's small forward and he will... Yeah, exactly. Potentially the Bombers, Track or Dawson and Chera or Ashcroft. Having trouble deciding between those 2 decisions.
I quite like Dawson. I think if you're going to pick Oliver, I think Track cops the tag. And we might be able to get Track a little bit cheaper in our forward lines. That's the hope. I quite like Chera. I think his run is too good. So pick one of Dawson. Adelaide's run at home is very, very good, and he plays very good at home. So there's a bit of money and stuff there for you. And then Ashcroft, yeah, I like Chera. I think Carlton's run, they're playing Richmond right now, and Chera hopefully goes big. So, yeah.
Agreed. Got the same team, but Petrarca instead of Ashcroft and Bailey Smith instead of Rankin, as well as Garcia instead of Palpepper. Very similar. Nice. Very nice.
I like it.
Sam Palpepper or Julius Diab, Sam Palpepper or Hugo Garcia. Yeah, I mean, Pepper is obviously significantly cheaper by about 65k.
I think he's less of a sub risk, to be honest.
Yeah, he's got Richmond in round 2. There's no butters, so he could push up and play a high half forward role, elevated to the leadership group. I think Pal Pepper has a lot of things going for him, personally. I prefer Pal Pepper. Do Essendon have a tagger? Well, I've mentioned this previously. We sent Durham. We can have various midfielders play accountable defensive roles. It could be Caldwell playing defensively or someone. Last year, we used Durham to play on Bontempelli, who kept him to 73 points for the game, which is an incredible feat. So Durham has the physicality and the physical profile to be able to go with Will Day. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that matchup. And on the team sheet, if we go back to the team lineup, in our game, we've actually listed Durham as a follower. So I wouldn't be surprised if we pull that trigger. Good luck for all. Please don't break Gawn, Joe. Look, it's out of my control, Michael. Okay, it's out of my control. If I do, I'm sorry.
13 minutes, boys and girls. 13 minutes.
If I break him, because he's so expensive, you can go to any other ruck. Pretty easy peasy, I guess. Charles, good to see you, my friend, as always. Found a way to open any player up to flex. Rotation, Gawn, Sherry, R2, Jackson, R3, Flynn, flex, Brian. Interesting. Very cool. Yeah, no, not a big fan of Flynn at R3 personally. I think that's a lot of money. And then this is all in relation. Hey, Slipping Jimmy. I'll be at the Dons game tomorrow. Keep an eye out. If you do, give me a holler. SDK feels like a fantasy pick. I agree. Go Bombers. Football is here. Oh, ye of little faith. Mark, if you see me tomorrow and we're winning, slap me. 3 of 5 and 15 at Cardinia Park. But I feel like those 5 have come in recent times. I don't know. That's just my memory. Darcy Foot could be sub. They've come out and said it already. He's been named the sub. Allen has no confidence for some reason. That's unfortunate. SPP and mids, you hope so. Pandemonium on my bench. Pandemonium in my pants at this point. Hoskin is injured. Hugo named centre with Hunter Clark half forward, but he can always play on ball. You never know.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Miller are flying pre-season, but huge injury risk, buyer beware.
I think we're gifted by so many good like 400k mid, 400k defenders that we don't need to pick Miller, to be honest. People will. Someone might have him at D6 and he does well, but I think we're gifted by so many that we don't need to worry too much. Hopefully.
He'll do a hammy trying to put his socks on.
Like Braden Bruce skips out onto the field and done a calf muscle.
Yeah, exactly. That was something that's just ridiculous. Be sticking with Boyd or change to Archer Reed. I reckon Boyd plays. I've got Boyd anyway. I don't think Reed's going to score that much. And the 20k might just be worth it. And it's nice to have a loophole, to be honest, because if Boyd isn't named for a while, the best 18 captain. So if your captain plays and isn't included in your best 18, you just don't get double points. So you almost need a loophole at the start of the season, to be honest. It could end up just being perfect for us. All right. So if he's playing forward and relief ruck, I wonder what that
means.
He's
119k. I can swap out Connor Stone for him and be happy.
If you have to pick one, I'd say Chera.
Yeah, Chera 100%.
Could I go Whit down to a Pryor and Allen up to someone? Gee, that's a very large downgrade from Whitfield to Pryor.
Yeah. I don't mind the Pryor. I don't know, man. Personal preference there. Whitfield's got a fantastic run early for halfbacks. Like the ball's just going to go straight through him. Pryor's probably good for a 60 to 70. So your upgrade better be someone good. Like if you can go Ed Allen to Brayshaw, I think you'll be okay. But yeah,
risky. Risky with Flynn R2.
Yeah, Aussie Flynn R2 is okay. It's just that it's really going to hurt you if Flynn goes down or he doesn't score enough. you're spending a lot of points and capital is probably the right word to actually get him to get someone good.
That's exactly right. Foss or Lashcroft? Lashcroft is the sub, so go Foss.
I like Foss anyway because you can always downgrade to Ashcroft. Like if Foss isn't good, cool, spend the trade, downgrade, and then it's not too bad.
Yeah, Day or Richards.
Ooh, I like Richards. I think Richards is okay. Day has one less game because he's got the sub.
GDK VC tonight. Need a 160. I'm not taking it because the season.
Well, there you go, man. There you go. That's why we've gone TDK into Gawn. Ugh,
exactly.
See how we go.
One of the question is, do we field Camporelli this week over one of the primo mid-rooks with such a good matchup?
No, I'm going to go with the mid-rooks for now. And then, the one person that doesn't have any of them, probably Skodfather. Camporelli goes 180 and he's on our bench and, he just laughs at us. But I don't think it's going to happen.
I've gone with Gawn, Aiden.
Yep, me too. Cherry's early run's just really tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Of course, it's viable. It's just risky if it fails and he goes down with injury in the first month before he makes his money.
Yeah.
He's never a sub risk. Look, every rookie is a sub risk, but I think Nevitt, he looked unreal in the preseason. He's an inside mid. He's not an outside really type player, so he's not suited to be sub. Yeah, we've thought about Fraser. I have had some periods where I've got cold feet on Short, but how does he not, in this back line and in this team, get at least 25 disposals and 5 kick-ins every week? I just can't.
And Fraser's competing with Dale and Bramble now. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah. Thinking about Rosie, Neal, and Pryor for Ed Allen, Brayshaw, and Whitfield. I just don't like any other rooks in mid on field to have Perryman D5. I think the midfield rookies are fine. I think the defender rookies are the ones that are no good. I don't mind fielding. I'm looking at this. I don't mind fielding these three. And if Nod appears to be a shitter, like I forgot who it was that was saying, we can always field Foss, who could potentially be playing halfback and doing really well. I don't mind 3, even 4 potentially rookies in the midfield are fine. Will Day could end up playing anywhere like Dawson last year. He's named forward pocket. Fair enough. Just look at what Jordan did today last week. Says enough to me. Fair enough. Miller or Pryor. Miller for ceiling. Pryor for hammies. Tom Stewart or Zorko. I think Stewart presents so much value at 521. His scoring won't match Zorko's, but he's cheaper, so he doesn't have to. Up to you. What you do with the money elsewhere is the question. All Day, is he going to kick 3 goals and a half again? High break even. Very true. We like him. We like Ed Richards, but it's too risky for me with a hammy, with a calf complaint right before the season starts. Pick one: Nod, Foss, Sardis, or Levi.
Foss.
Sardis. I think Sardis.
Oh, maybe Sardis too. Maybe go Sardis. Less questions.
If he does 110 versus Essendon, he may need to restructure. Nah, he'll still cop the Bedford tag before the bye anyway. I think the tag is overplayed. His game is SuperCoach friendly, but even I'm fading him. Well, they definitely overplayed the tag again. What, James Jordan? Jeez, he destroyed him. I deleted my team. Too much pressure. Henry, it's supposed to be a game, just for fun. If this game is going to get into the way of your enjoyment of football, then you've done the right thing. I think football, in a world that's full of this divisiveness, wars, hunger, and pain, football is one of those rare shining lights that you have on the weekend. And if SuperCoach is going to take away that piece, that bright light on the weekend, then you've done the right thing. Don't be pressured into doing anything that you don't want to do. Enjoy the game. Wino Bailey Smith, can't afford it. And I don't think he's going to go bananas. If he goes 90, I reckon Pal Pepper can go 70. And I'm using the money elsewhere. I think these two are perfectly fine on field without the need to pay up for him. I don't think he's top 6. And I've got the top 4. And I think there will be a couple of players who get DPP, and they're the ones who come in. We have a league, Ben. I think Vela might have already shared it with you. Yeah, it's 297914. All right,
guys, almost finished. 4 minutes until round 1.
Good luck to you, Ange. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on. Chera all day. I say Chera.
Yeah, I like Chera too.
No loops. No loops.
Potentially Boyd, but I'm happy to have Boyd as a loop.
24 in the last quarter being tagged. The 7 or whatever the third was mostly on the bench. I'll take a 90 from a tag when it's 110% no tag.
Yeah, but he's going to go down in price, which is the only issue. Because after round 1, that price is gone. So if he has a bad game next week and then one after that, it's cooked. Riles Macca, best of luck. Lads might field trainer. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I've got Patton on the bench. Who's Patton playing? Brisbane. Actually, I'm going to do that. Today, I'm going to field trainer. Trainer, you're on the field. Please don't stuff up my game. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
Riles,
so guys,
done it to
this
me.
is the team that I'm going in with.
It's your fault.
Yeah. That's the team. So this is it. It's my official team. I'm not going to play around with it unless, of course, there are news that Boyd doesn't get up, or Hewitt doesn't play, or Johnson doesn't play. So if these guys don't play, then obviously I'll have to change the rookies to players who are. But if they are, this is what I'm going in with. You guys now know this is it. I'm so excited for the season to start, and
should be good.
It should be good. Should be fun. Hope you enjoyed the preseason content thus far. If you did and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to not miss out on any of the videos and the streams that we have. Obviously, you see this Thursday night stream. You obviously have Monday nights and Tuesdays for the members. If you want to be a member to support the channel, you're absolutely welcome to do so. You get an opportunity to participate in the team building as well, because we have a community team for the coaches box. So if you want to be part of that, you can certainly, of course, and if he goes crap. Nah, don't apologize, Riles. You're absolutely welcome here anytime, you legend. So hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful season of SuperCoach and be with us every step of the way, because we love being with you.
And team reviews on Sunday night. It's something we're trying to commit to. Angeline, way to go. Finish off the season. Finish off the preseason. Thank you very much. Guys, team reviews coming out on Sunday nights. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys can join in. Just let us know how your teams are going throughout the preseason too. We've got the review crew coming out on Monday, so we'll go through all of those games as well.
Absolutely, because guys,
here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work. You guys don't have to. 1 minute, turn on your KO. That's it.